How's everyone doing today? We're back in Game 4 of our Backyard Football 2002 playthrough, playing as the Chicago Bears, and as you guys remember, we got off to a good 3-0 start, taking down each team in our division. Now we're going with their out-of-division rival on the NFC in the Front Yard Central, I guess they're calling it. But now we're going into the Front Yard West division, taking on the Niners, who are 2-1. So it should be a pretty close, not a pretty close game, hopefully, but not they're not too much of a pushover. So I said in the last couple parts I wanted to change my playbook a little bit because of my defense. You don't really have to worry about defense in 2002. Defense is really easy to play. The offenses that you're going to be facing really won't run rings around you, even if you have a terrible team like I do. That's not how Backyard Football 2002 goes. So we're going to go to the offensive library, and I'm going to put in. Fake field goal and fake punt are kind of gimmicks because it's not like you're going to be tricking the defense, because the defense might even choose a like field goal blocking play. They'll just choose like a deep zone or something because they're not smart. You don't have, these are gimmicks. Don't use them. You can just keep the plays that you have in terms of the field goal blocking. But because I'm having problems with the extra point, I'm going to change the extra point plays blocking schemes that I have, so I'll do that. But that's all I'm going to do for kicking. Kick return I'm not too worried about either. I don't have fast guys, so I'm not going to be getting that many yards to begin with. But one thing, because my running the running game for my team is awful, I'm going to choose a play. It's called rollover, or I believe there's a variation on it. It's what am I? And we're going to replace that with crash, because you can't even, you have to get into the end zone with your whole body, not even just the ball, in 2002. So running a play like crash is just not intelligent. So we're going to flip what am I in for that, because that is a pretty good play. I've ran that in the past. This guy tends to get open quite a bit. And I don't see anything else that I'm drawn to right now, but I'm going to definitely take a look at it off screen, try to get in one more play in terms of passing, but I'm not too concerned about losing too many games in 2002, so I'm not going to be changing up my playbook as much as I would do in other backyard football games. I'm going to try a running play just to see how it does. I'm going to try different ones out, and I'm going to replace Neptune because I'm not a fan of Spoon Fork, because I'm not a fan of the jumbled up action that goes on in Spoon Fork. Players tend to get all in an area, and then that makes more defenders. So I'm going to put counter one in there. I'm just going to replace that. I'm going to test out some running plays, see if I can actually get a running game going, because I have none. And so some changes I have to make. I'm going to have to put Jorge in there, and Jeremiah, you're not ever playing. You're a useless person for football. At least. And Ahmed looks like he's not having too good of a day. And I believe my kicking is all set up. So let's get going with game 4 now.
Hi there, all you helmet-headed football fans.
And we're playing at the mud yards, not just the dirt yards. Dirt, as you know, turns into mud with rain. And it looks like we're going to be running into a pretty yucky, messy game here against the San Francisco 49ers. The Front Yard West at Dirt Yards. So we played at Woodland Greens Dirt Yards, a little diversion from our pristine, well-kept field of Metro Civic playgrounds. So they're just gonna have to get used to it. They're gonna have to man up. You're gonna have to man up, Sydney. I know you don't like to man up. You like to play Chris Everett and Jorge, making the over-the-shoulder interception at midfield to get off to a good start. And you can see right there that play is already paying off dividends as Jorge gets open down the left sideline, and he's going to take that down to the 24-yard line for a big play to start off our offensive series. So I'm going to try to get positive rushing yards, and that looks like it's not going to be the case early on. And Jorge, can you put an outside block for me? And I'm trying to get those yards back. We're at 0 rushing yards now. We're trying to get to positive to get to neutral. And at the end of the year, I'm assuming our total. Freaking kidding me, Billie Jean. Let's make a better pass than that. So I'm going to try to knock in this field goal.
Field goal.
It's usually not the best case, and let's go with the blocking. Let's figure it out down there. So we had an opportunity to get off to an early lead, but because Sydney Weber
Couldn't get that
is having a tough time adjusting to the wetness of dirt yards. Jorge, can you come up big for me again? And Nelly, Country Grandma, give me two per, making the catch against Jorge. So they're going for the one. Intercepted by Jorge. They see the man-to-man, one-on-one matchup. They try to exploit it, but it's not paying dividends for them. And Sydney, wide open, unguarded, trotting. End zone city, wrong. And who leaves their freaking car with the hood off in rain? Here, you can see this here in a second as I throw this ball out of play. Right there. Who does that? Who does that? Is that bad for you? Yes, it is. It's bad for your car. Don't do that. Don't listen to... And I'm just going to get that one out of here. And we're having trouble dialing up a play here. I'm going to try swinger my bread and butter. I could do that every single play, and I know you're probably wanting me to do that every single play, but it's not fun. Please get the first down, Sydney. Put on the Jets, if you have any. And normally that's an easy touchdown, but not in 2002. A huge flaw, and I got a phone call here, so I'll be back in a second. Alright, so I'm back before the play clock expires, and we're going to play flood, fittingly with the rain, and we find Sydney 4-6 in the back of the end zone. What a surprise. Like I've never seen that before. And we're going to go with an extra point. See if we can sneak it between these two buildings. And I like that idea. That was pretty creative on Humongous Entertainment's part there, putting the clothesline being the crossbar of the uprights. And big boy Marcus trucking through Jorge and Angelo. So I don't. They must draft big players. The Niners are all about the big guys. I don't know if it's the same way in 2002. I know it is in the original backyard football. See, like if you're playing against the Eagles, they usually have Pablo Sanchez. They usually draft the same players each season if you make a different season. I'm not sure if it's the same way in 2002. We played 2002 a lot, but I'm not 100% positive. I think it's somewhat similar. I think I covered that in the last part anyways. A broken record. So Ronnie, let's see if Ronnie gets to take part in the game, and I have to sub. You're always going to have to sub somebody in at some point at the end of a half because fatigue sets in 2002 way too quickly, and idiocy as well does set in very quickly as well. Alright. And oh my goodness, what a quick rush there by, I'm not sure who that is, but Stephanie Morgan put on the D-line. That's not going to have too much of an impact there, San Francisco 49ers. I suggest you make a change. So Sydney wide open again. Trucking down the mud, tearing up the field, tearing up the turf for a huge game. So I'm going to call timeout, and I'm going to put in Ronnie. Well, Ahmed actually barely deserves more rest than Jorge does. And I'm going to give Jorge some more needed rest before the half begins so I can get him rejuvenated for the second half. And Jeremiah, for his second reception of the year, holding my breath in fear that he will fumble, makes the catch. So I'm going to roll out and pass it to the other end of the field. Pull Steve Young. Oh, Niners reference, and I forgot I had this play. It's not going to be safe for third down, I'll tell you that much. What a pass by Billy under duress. And that play is not going to be working with my blocking scheme, my talent in the O-line. So it looks like I'm going to have to stick with the old standby as swinger. Throwing it across field. Really, Sydney? You had a chance to get us a 2-touchdown lead. And yes, we're beating them by 2 yards. They got negative rushing yards. Killing them in time possession, but I have an awful offense in the red zone here today. Stuck at 7 points in the muddy game. And you can see right here, I was talking about this in game 3.
Is going to be kicking
When you're stuck in poor weather, snow, or particularly rain, your players are slowed down and the game slows down subsequently. You score less points. It's never more true than it has been so far. So I'm going to give Jorge and Ahmed one more rest of a play before I bring them back in and see if I can't get a big gain here on second down. Well, it's got to be third down now. Yes, I know. You can shutty, Chuck. Save it for later. So I heard the other day Chuck Downfield is 9.5 years old. Kind of wish he was older than that. It makes me feel very old playing this game. So I doubled him in age. No, actually, not quite. I would be 19 then. I'm 18. And Ahmed open on the outside. See if we can't dial him up here. One of the two. Jorge steals it from Rocker. Trucking down to the middle of the field for the touchdown. And he puts it down like a posh little boy he is. So I did pretty well blocking on the extra point, so I might as well try it again. And like I said before, they will even dial up like the deep zone on their extra point coverages or field goal coverages. So don't worry about using fake punts or fake field goals. It's really not going to end up helping you at all. So don't do it. Once again, I'm calling 2-bit zone, and I said I'm going to blitz some more. I think that would be a good idea. And if you ever see somebody drop out for a screen like that, feel free to send in a cornerback, try to make the pick. So I'm going to send Sydney in for the blitz. And that looks like it was, let's see what play that was. Not spready, but it was a button hook. And Niners look like they run, not necessarily a West Coast offense, but definitely not a spread. Okay, so punt return, see if we can get Ahmed the ball. First time he's touched the ball all day, or second time actually. He's got 2 punt returns now. It's not making much of an impact there. Not necessarily the Devin Hester of the BFL. And Ahmed trying to get you a ball, trying to get you feel like you're a part of the team. You're just gonna have to listen, keep listening to the music that you're jamming out to, because that's all you got as a friend right now. Billie Jean's not loving you out in the flat. So I'm gonna sneak it in there, and that is not working out for me. So I'm gonna go for it here on 4th down. I'm not worried about Niners. As you've seen throughout this playthrough so far, their offense, the computer's off. Freaking catch it. Sidney Weber, that's the 3rd time he cost us points. We could be annihilating them right now, but as a result of you and your incompetency, we're only ahead by 2 scores. Which doesn't have me concerned, because you see how futile this 49ers passing attack and rushing game is.
Nice job by
Then the one thing I don't like about this one, it's harder to block. It's extremely hard to block punts and field goals. I guess it's hard in the first backyard football, but it's just still ridiculous. I guess you can, some of your players can jump up and make a block sometimes, but that often results in the other team getting the ball back, which I don't like. Ahmed, get over there, get through the mud, scrape the dirt off your cleats with the stick, the old school, make the catch for me, there you go. So getting it to the, just outside the red zone. Play swinger now, get Sydney a pitch, and get ourselves in positive yardage for rushing for once. Sorry, I got a tickle in my throat. And I'm just going to throw this one away. That was meant to be thrown away even further, but we almost hit watermelon because of it. Should have been entertaining, to say the least. And that is a face full of mud. And I'm going to give Sydney another shot. I have confidence in her here. Why did I have confidence? It was like throwing to a ghost. It's like I was throwing to a ghost there.
Looking to throw, throws it to the flat.
And you don't even make the catch on defense.
42, 60. On the 49ers, 41 yards. Looking for the opening.
Alright, that is just a crappy offense.
Yellow dog.
Whoever their offensive coordinator, it's going to be canned.
They're
gonna be canned.
Complete for some big yards.
Of course, they get their first down of the game, as I say that. It is my goal to prevent them, whatever team I'm playing throughout this season, from getting a first down the entire game. So, let's see if I can actually pull that off. And that is not a first down. That is third down and 1 yard. So let's see if I can't match the previous game against the Lions. And that looks like you got stopped. Of course, they're going to go for it again. And I'm just going to keep them out of the end zone. That is my ultimate goal here.
Passes it in the clear. Complete.
And that is technically not a touchdown, but as Sonny Dick says, we'll call it a day. And thank you.
You gotta like the way these kids played today. The Chicago Bears hold the field today.
For Chuck Downfield.
Alright, I don't want to listen to that because my team needs to do a lot of work. That was one of our poorer efforts offensively throughout the year. About double our yardage in the previous game, yet that was in the sun. So we won the turnover battle, but we like to get more turnovers. Definitely kept them off of the ground. And third down conversions was a little bit under par for what I would like to have. Time of possession, though, surprisingly, we dominated it, but we scored the least amount of points that we scored throughout the season. So I'll look at divisional play. I'm not sure who's next on the schedule. Regardless, the Packers won again. The Lions won, but the Vikings got taken down, thankfully. So let's see how the Packers did. Somehow they scored 28 points with only getting 172 yards on it. They must have had a good special teams day and got some points off these turnovers. We'll see how the Lions did. And once again, total yardage not being racked up for our divisional rivals, but they're pulling in the wins so far. And the Vikings getting the most yardage of any of those teams, but coming down to the Saints, they pretty much won every statistical category you can look at. Oh, I guess not passing yardage, but everything else, and they couldn't pull it together, so that's good. Get a loss in there for somebody, and we're playing the Chiefs next. Still got the one-game lead on the Packers, who are looking pretty good. You can see we only got 25 points against them, but we're going to check out the Chiefs real quick, see where they're at. And they don't look like they're too good, so or maybe they're not. 1-3. Once again, the AFC West, the backyard West in this game is crap as it is in real life. And Tebow Licious driving them to a 3-1 record. So I'll see you guys in Game 5 after a defensive stalemate against the Niners. We'll be going on the road to face the Chiefs. So see you then.